You crazy mother effer. You crazy mother effer. You are so dope, whoever you are, because you were like that main character in the book or in the movie that was like, you took on the biggest mission. You were like, give me the biggest assignment. I want that one. What the actual F were you thinking? What were we thinking? Because now you're like really woke and now you have to see everything for what it is, but you're just like, you're just rocking in your vibe, oh. Aye, Captain, I can't hear you. Bro, you went into the darkness. You went into the darkness where you could no longer hear Source. You could no longer hear God's voice. You could no longer see the synchronicities. There were still synchronicities. They were like pebbles. They were like breadcrumbs. They weren't the way they are now. The way they are now is like right up in your face. Like I went over to the 7 Now. There's a little phone for when we get a to-go order. And it rings. It goes off. I walked over to it and I picked up the phone. And then it rang. We got an order in. And then boom, I pick it off the charger. I look down. 11:11. And it's constant. And I don't look for it. They look for me. We look for each other. We're in a phone call. I'm always on a phone call with God, you know? And that's how you are. I love you, man. You knew the entire time. You knew the entire time. You knew the entire time. You were like, I am definitely in some type of lower dimension right now. But you were like, cool with it because you knew the entire time. You knew the entire time. Where everybody else would have been drained, unalived themselves, went and posted a GoFundMe. Like everybody like mopes and everybody's like, poor me, help me, I'm poor. And you're like, you'd rather be poor and like manifest with your energy and figure out how to do that than to be like, you guys, you know, I can't even further explain it. You guys are just like alchemists. So you're like, I won't stoop to that level. I fucking love you, dude. While you were in the lower dimensions, you met people. You met warlocks, you met witches, you met sirens, you met all the like. You met them all. And they were open too. They were open. They were like, yeah, I do dark magic. Yeah, I'm a siren. I siphon people. What the fuck? They were like, yeah, I love to... You know what I mean? You were just like non-judgmental though. You were like, all right. That's a little weird. Cause like maybe you went from a world where like people were secretly doing those things and like posing as like light workers and Christians, but they were secretly actually dark arts mofos. You moved into an authentic world where people were still dark, but they were being honest that they were dark. And you were like, I like this world better, but it's still really dark. You were transmuting the entire time. You were transmuting everybody. You were shining your brightest light, but posing as dark. The opposite. God had you on assignment. God had you on assignment. You were on the mission. You came off in your demeanor or clothing or tattoos or something about you came off like you fit in with those dark. Okay? And I love those people still to this day because I know that it is against their will. I know that they are trapped in a simulation that they signed up for, either in a... They put themselves where they're at. We put ourselves where we're at. We always do. We speak things into existence and then we forget we spoke it and we wonder why our lives get all messed up and then boom. It's like we have to ask to receive the reasons why. Hey, God, what have I spoken into existence that I no longer align with? Boom. It'll drop down. Change that shit. You were so tight with God the entire time, even though you couldn't feel that connection, maybe. You know what I mean? This is what I'm getting, you guys. This is what I'm getting, okay? This is what I'm getting. You might not have been able to hear or see or feel God the way you used to prior to starting this mission, this walk through the dark, the realms, the confusion, the turmoil, the abandonment, the jealousy, the hatred, the aggression, the violence, the curses, the hexes. You walked through them, transmuted them back into light. You're back on your throne. You never actually left your throne. Your throne was like, you like moved as a unit, like on your throne. No matter where you went, you were always highly respected and highly honored. You like had people like, they can see your higher self. They can see that you were regal. Even in the lower dimensions, even the lower dimensional beings respected you, and they hated that they respected you. I just heard that little ring, that little song. I don't want your opinion, or whatever it is. And it's like you were walking around and people were like looking at you. People that knew you, or maybe people that didn't even know you, were like looking at you like, are you good? Like, are you good? Are you okay? You're acting like kind of off a little bit, not you. You were transmuting a lot of energy, so you were probably coming off like 1,000 different people at once, maybe. This is what I'm getting. If it doesn't resonate, don't force it to fit. If it doesn't resonate, don't force it to fit. Oh, I'm also getting you might have lost a lot of your hobbies or interests along the way. They're coming back in, and they're coming back in stronger because you were on a mission with your soul, right? And you were gaining so much strength and wisdom that now that you're going to jump right back into your hobbies and interests, you are already going to be a master at that. You don't even got to practice. You're just like, boom, you're like perfection. I'm also getting you knew the entire time who did not like you, and they like played in your face, and you were like matching their energy and playing back, but you did it better because they believed you. Let me explain this. You had people in your life at some point along these journeys that you've been on, where they were like, you're my favorite person. I want to hang out with you all the time. And then they would like turn around to the people that they knew and they'd be like, fuck this bitch. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to get her watch. Like Ursula to the two little thingies. She was just like, got her boys. The boss is on a roll for those poor. You know what I mean? But like, you were the one that got them because you were like, oh my gosh. I see the shadiness. I see the inauthenticity, but I'm going to play along. I want to see where this goes. I want to see how far they'll take it. I want to see what they'll try to do to me. And it won't even work because I'm an angel. You knew the entire time that you were an earth angel and you knew you were protected, boo. Congratulations. God was always giving you the insight, fool. And God was like telling you, yes, you can say this. No, you cannot say that. There might have been a crashing moment where your ancestors were with you, right? And whoever these people are that were just like in the darker realms, and they were like thinking they were fooling you. They were thinking they were fooling you, and they were like, they were evil. They were weird. They were weirdos. They're still watching you, but you're like over here being perfect, and you're literally in your angelic realm that you've created now because everything is gone that is unholy, because that's the world that you created because God was co-creating with you. They thought that they were manifesting things through you, around you, because you were the actual magic in the area that you were in. You were the one bringing God's source energy to the environment. And they thought it was working, but you were like, I'm never going to be around these type of people again. Boom. And now you're not. There was a crashing moment where your ancestors were with you and they got their energetic spears and just went ham. And I'm getting that this karma, these people that thought or think they got away with doing something to you, death spells, delays, freezing your money, freezing your alchemy, freezing your ability to manifest, they were trying to freeze you in time and space so that they can get ahead of you. They're like so amateur when it comes to magic, and you are so master of it that not only did they catapult you farther than them, but now they slowed themselves down because now they have to deal with the mess that they created. They have to deal with the baggage of karma that they just put on themselves for cursing you or trying to, because a lot of them didn't even go through. They were like, what? You always knew your ancestors were guiding you. I just got the most intense. You always knew your ancestors were guiding you. You always knew your ancestors were guiding you. And they were like, they, as in these other people, if they can even be called people, because they are so low vibrational that when you see them in the energetic realm, you in the energetic realm are like a white ray. You're like very ethereal, and this is so upsetting to people who are ugly in the energetic realm, because they see energy too, because they can see that side, but you see it too, but you're like, you don't even trip about these low vibrational beings, because you look at them and then their lower dimensional self is revealed to you, and they're always some like really weird looking creature, and they're not even humanoid. They're like weirdly shaped, their eyes are like all messed up, and they're like I don't know how to explain it, but they look disgusting because that's who they are on the inside. And you're over here like, no. This video is literally just a congratulations, because you are an intensely intimidating but also holy mofo. Like, you have the most positive intentions of the planet that anybody in your atmosphere has ever seen, which is why you demand respect. That even the people that were in those lower vibrational states couldn't even disrespect you, because it was going to be so apparent that they were in a low vibrational state, because everybody saw your actual authenticity. They were like, that's an angel. Why is that person being weird to them? The only people that were cool with those people being weird to you were people who were at their level, and they might have tried to gang stalk you or gang smear you, whatever it was. You know what? They all tried to cancel you, and you just got bigger and better, and now you're going to be booming, and your followers, whatever it is, you're like, boom, you're in the limelight. Oh my God. Even when you turn people away, or even when you come off rude, it looks so good on you. Like, if somebody's trying to throw shit, look, you guys, I'm so excited for you. Blessings on blessings on blessings on blessings on blessings on blessings on blessings. Because you're like exposing everything in your atmosphere. Because now you actually know that you could trust yourself. That was the shift. Now you know you're not crazy. Now you know that what they were doing. Now you saw the curses. You heard them. Whatever. You unlocked the door to heaven's gates. And now you are floating in life and bringing heaven with you everywhere you go. So of course God's going to favor you and give you everything you ask for, as long as it is in the Holy Spirit's path. Of course you're going to have those loving followers, those amazing positive intended followers, pure intended followers that become a family. I gotta go back in, you guys, but this was exciting for me because we are in the same resonance, which means we're home, girls, we're home, boys. Let's do this. I was gonna say in that last clip, if you throw shade at somebody that is trying to throw shade at you, when you do it back to them, they can tell that yours is righteous anger. Yours is like, bitch, you did not just say that to me. It's like a humbled, do you know who I am? Do you know what I have done for you too, to that person? Like, you are healing. You are healing. Your aura's healing. So it's like anybody around you is getting that energy from you, and you're not asking for anything in return, okay? You're just being yourself. So when people try to throw shade at you, you're just like, what? And it's a look. You're like, what? It's like, boom. It's God's wrath, and you are gifted with it, and it changes things just like your tenderness does, and you have a balance of both. I love you. Let's do this. I could be tender. I could be a little kitty, but I could also be woo. Okay, I love you guys. Peace out.